Competition over. While we're still laughing, hello, good time zone, everyone, and welcome to Horde of Tales for today on a bit of an untypical day for us. But we've thought, like, hey, it's Saturday, let's go and do a stream, especially because we have a very special stream planned today, and we're glad to be here. There are a few familiar faces here. Some of these faces you know from our regular D&D Eberron stream, and those are, of course, our fantastic social media guru and just chaotic person all around. Ida is here today. We have also the founder, the leader of this entire place, which is Carolyn, who is joining us. And our special guest for today is coming all the way from probably the other side of the globe in for our cases, is Alyx to introduce us to their game, Chinese Ghost Stories We Tell Ourselves. Alyx, welcome and well met. Thank you very much for being here. How are you?
I'm sleepy, but you know it's a good time because I could probably be scared if you touched me on the shoulder, and this is the best time for a horror game. Light horror. Yeah, thanks so much for having me here. I'm so excited to share this game with you and like your audience as well.
And we're very excited to play this game. Thank you for being here. Uh, Ida and Carolyn, how are you doing on this fine Saturday? You're also ready for discovering the Chinese ghost stories we tell ourselves?
In all the build up and trying to read about the game, appreciate its norms. One very basic descriptor has not sunk in now that you just said it out loud, Alex, and it's also a horror game. And it's like, oh, I'm the screamer. In every roller coaster, every scary movie, I'm the screamer. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah, but it's a communal horror story. We're all part of the same family, so it's
I'm going
okay.
to communally enjoy my faces and reactions.
Well, in my opinion, it's always a good time to for horror stories.
Amazing.
It's going to be a shared horror story, but I'm also assuming that we're going to have a bit of fun while we're playing this game.
Hey, Marcus, how are you doing?
I am doing very fine, and I have also just been reminded that this is a horror game, which is in the title that we're talking about ghost stories. Though to be fair, I don't think all ghost stories have to be like creepy. I mean, maybe not all the ghosts have to be that scary, but we're about to find out what kind of ghosts we're going to encounter. But I'm doing fine, and I'm really looking forward to playing here. But we're not just playing Chinese ghost stories we tell ourselves, we're also promoting a very important bundle of games today. We're promoting the Trans Rights in Texas game bundle, which is packed with a lot of fantastic games for a very important cause that we're promoting here. And Ida, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the bundle and how people can find the bundle.
Happy to do so. So we're here promoting the TTRPG bundle for trans rights in Texas, and Chinese Ghost Stories that we tell ourselves is part of that bundle. So thank you, Alex, for you and the amazing amount of creatives and writers and designers and developers that contributed to that bundle, which all proceeds are going to two local charities that I know that Rue Ilana Knight has taken a lot of community feedback for, investigated well. There are 493 games in here, all amazing, all of all different sizes of studios, and there's about a day and a half, just under 2 days left to get this bundle before you can't get it anymore, and they are so close to their up goal. I think they need $4,000 left in a day and a half. So any little bit we can contribute and forward that goal to people who need to be seen, especially the day after of Trans Days of Visibility, people that need to be have their real selves affirmed, people that I think by rolling dice and by taking a look inside who we are and who makes us, I think is a very unique way to provide assistance in that way. And I'm a supporter of the bundle. And if you haven't today, if you have the means, it is $5, or also sharing and telling your friends about it is also a good way to support.
Exactly. And if you need the link to the bundle, you can type into the chat the command !charity, which will pop up the link to the bundle where you can directly acquire it and support this fantastic bundle and goal it supports. Also, one final thing before we dive into the game. For those of you who have been on our channel before, they know that we do have some ways to spend your channel points. Apologies. Those were some channel points in my throat, but now they're out. The way to spend your channel points. And one of the most useful ones here is using it for cat vantage. And the rules for that are simple. So if you spot someone's cat on screen, and I'm pretty sure on today's stream, I'm the only one with a cat who might sneak up in there. I'm so sorry, Ida. If you spot the cat and you have the channel points, you can click the cat vantage channel action and grant one of the players, we're all players in this game because this is a GM-less game, cat vantage. Oh, sorry, man, there's still some channel points in there. And in this game, usually in a D&D game, the cat vantage gives you advantage on the roll. But here, and please correct me, Alex, if I'm getting this wrong, if someone gets cat vantage, they get a -10 to the next roll because we have to roll as low as possible in this game.
Yeah. You want to roll low, baby, in this game.
Gotcha. Good. Exactly. So use those points. Keep an eye on the cat. I'm currently checking the status. The cat is currently sleeping, and this is usually the time of day that he's not that much of an attention hog, but who knows? We might be lucky. With that being said, I think we're through all unnecessary announcements, and I would like at this point to hand it over to Alex. Alex, tell us about Chinese ghost stories we tell ourselves and what we're going to play today.
Awesome. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you, all these wonderful people here in this room for inviting me to play test this game. So there's going to be a lot of bumps. There's going to be explanation of rules. There's going to be maybe stop and starts. And I'm really excited because this game really means a lot to me. Because I really wanted there to be a way to talk about Chinese ghost stories. Because I was like, you know what? I really want a game that talks about not just ghost stories in general, but a very culturally specific ghost story that I think a lot of POCs can share across the board as well, and can and we were talking earlier many people everyone shares some kind of saying or superstition that as we try to make sense of the supernatural in some way. And so yeah, thanks. This game at its heart is looking at each of us being a family member of a Chinese family. And these supernaturals really act as sort of challenges to either push you towards the family, or will you lean out from the family? And so in moments of crisis, who are you really? And do you turn towards your family, or do you turn towards more a progressive individual look? And so it's and so you might be asking yourselves, how do Chinese people view ghosts? And so it's actually really neat because similarly to other people, ghosts represent the fear of the unknown. So in early Chinese history, the pictogram for ghosts wasn't just it's not just a woo ghost with a blanket on your head or something like that. It's also natural disasters or strange, weird beasts or dangerous people, because that also represents the unknown. It also the original etymology of the symbol for ghost, gui, is Chinese people's. It was actually a person with a mask holding a mask towards them, and so it also represents hiding behind this mask. and so it's actually like really really cool. So there is actually like long time ago, someone called Pu Songwing made this whole like book of just like really interesting weird stories. So I say horror, but like in a different way. It's not like slasher, like someone's gonna come into your house with like a knife. It's also like strange weird things that you cannot like just like what happened there. Like all of us, I'm sure, in our lives have seen something really strange and we just like can't put our finger on it, like what happened. But and that would also be included in like Chinese horror, like strange unnatural things occurring. And so yeah, so um some values of like Chinese familial dynamics, maybe people are very familiar, is that we really value harmony, loyalty, feel piety, benevolence, and wisdom. And so the most important Chinese value though is harmony, and that's how we get like raised in our families, or at least my family for Chinese family dynamics. And so everyone has chosen. So first, we're going to choose family members, and it seems like all of us have chosen. We've all chosen before the stream, and so I'm going to be playing the father, and I'm going to be like Brady Bunch, where I'm just like, I think it's Marcus next. Who
Yeah.
do you play, Marcus?
I am going to be playing the child of the family, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be actually like an underage kid, but more like the youngest family member in this case. So let's see. I'm not really sure yet of what kind of age we're gonna be, but I'm going to be the child in the family.
Nice, cool. Maybe you're ready to move out. Maybe you're just like, maybe you're just finished like university. It's really up to you.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then Ida, who you playing?
I would like to. I will be playing the mother character figure in this family.
Cool. And Carol, who you play?
Yeah, I have chosen the granny of the family. So
Nice. The diva. I'm so excited. And then so after that, we go around, and so you want to go back to your playbooks, and you want to pick one history question, one red string of fate, one inner demon, and one family belief. And so I'm gonna go to my and to form an example as like the father. Let's see. No one else can pick what I just answered unless you feel like you have a really good answer to it. But you want to try to like pick a different family history question. So the family history questions are: what do others expect of you? What are you sacrificing to live up to your duties? What evils are you shielding from your family? How do you bring honor to your family? And what family secrets are you holding? So, and so, I made them spicy. So I'm going to answer, what do others expect of you? And so as the father of this of this family, we're going to call ourselves the Wongs because that's what I'm feeling. Um Others expect me to be like a pillar of strength, to be like a stable individual, and provide for the family. So how I do that is I am I am I'm a farmer of chickens, and I would like to expand this chicken farm roost so that we can be like a chicken empire. But and so yes, I'm a farmer with a lot of chickens. If you want to add more animals, you sure can. And others expect me to be a pillar of strength, and to like have like answers and to be steady. Yeah. Marcus, how do you choose your what? How would you answer your family history question?
Well, I find it interesting that you go for the what you answer with the father as like the pillar, this strength in the family, and trying to expand the family business. In this case, the
Mhm.
chicken farm that the family has. And I'm thinking that as a child, by probably being an adult at this point, a young adult, but still like maybe the potential successor to the chicken farm,
Yeah.
I would like to answer the question, how do you bring honor to your family?
Nice.
And I am a fairly gifted merchant for my age, and I bring honor by helping my family succeed in the chicken trade and looking
Cool.
for business opportunities using my intelligence and maybe a bit of cunning to help the family in growing this business that we're having, this farm that we're having. And that's how I find my way of contributing honor to the family.
Oh, that's so cool. Are you like going to school? Like, how are you like a gifted merchant? Are you like part of an MLM? Like, what's happening?
I think I think there might be also a little bit of tension there that the family maybe is using some funds to also pay for the schooling that the child has received to be this good merchant, to be skilled in mathematics, in
Mm.
brokering trades and the likes, and that by using that kind of investment that was given onto the child, my character would try to do his best to provide honor to the family by being a successful merchant. He still has a lot to learn. Maybe he's maybe a little bit of even very self-assured in what he does because he also is convinced that he's doing good there. But that's his path to bringing honor to the family.
Right. And do you actually want to be successor to the Wong chicken farm?
I think that's an interesting question to find the answer to during play. I think that's something, maybe there's a bit of tension there that there's a tension between what the child wants and what the child wants to do for the family. But maybe that's a question that we find the answer to during play.
Okay. I'm very excited to see if my child wants to take over the family business because I've only got the one. Okay, Ida, how about for you?
Interesting. What are you sacrificing to live up to your duties? I think as history question.
Mm.
Um, I guess we have our Marcus is our only child. I guess in this case,
Yes.
so we're pumping everything we have. All we're running. I have a chicken farm. All the eggs are in this basket,
Nice analogy.
and
That's a good one.
I think maybe when I was younger, I had ambitions and dreams, but right now, the it's objectively clear to me and to our family that the best way forward is to hinge our futures on the star that needs to be nurtured, that needs to be fortified, that needs to be shown, and needs to be guided. Anything they need and any shielding and protection they need to get that for so that we can all successfully rise together. As mother, I will push forward on, even if it means whatever it takes for me. So I'm sacrificing in essence, I guess, a bit of my personality in self just to be like full caretaker, make sure there's nothing distracting this path.
Oh my gosh. That's so relatable. I remember asking my own mom, like, hey mom, what were your dreams as a kid? And she's like, well, now I have like your dreams are my dreams. I'm like, oh my god, mom. So it's a very interesting dynamic that you put on is that like yeah, we're putting everything into Marcus, to be the successor of this chicken farm, all of our dreams, and we've exchanged our like sort of like our own ambitions, our own personality to make sure you succeed. And so like Ida said, so that like you know, what is the saying like a high tide raises all boats or something like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
That was really great. Okay. Okay, Pharaoh.
Um, so I'm going with what evils are you shielding your family? And so like our family, our like several hundred years ago, there was an incident between our family and someone, some like higher noble, and we basically got like a curse of bad luck. So, and then in in our family, it's a thing that we need to a specific time of the year. We need to give some smaller sacrifices to so that this bad luck is not catching us during the rest of the year. So, and to shield you the rest of the family from these evils that might come towards us, it's basically like that I remind the family of like, yeah, do this, so otherwise we might catch the bad luck again. And like because as you have never might never have experienced any bad luck because we are doing this.
Hmm.
So and
Mhm.
you might not believe in it, and so I'm basically the one who is reminding you to do this, to keep us to this tradition. So so and most of the times it's like either something like a special dish, or like some coin, things like this, that we need to give so that we're staying on the good side.
Oh, cool. Is there like a tradition that like you're just like we have to do this one? Like there's no wavering from it. If we do, like if there's so many of them, but like this one you really have to do.
Like there is one day where we like need to get up really early, and during the whole day we are not allowed to put any shoes on.
No shoes on.
No shoes on during the whole day, so you can do whatever, but it's not allowed to put shoes on during the whole day.
Okay.
So and if you're going through a door, you need to have a little bit of salt with you, and like sprinkle a little bit salt behind your shoulder so that you're keeping that what basically follows you off.
So
Whoa.
sprinkle salt when crossing thresholds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um. Neat. That's really cool. I'm just writing that down. So that I remember and play. Being like, hey, Granny told us that we have to make sure that we always throw salt behind us. Yeah, and I guess like who are you mother to? Are you my mother or are you Ida's mother? It's since you want to be the granny.
I kind of want to be Ida's mother.
You are Ida's mom.
Okay.
I like these mother-daughter relationships.
Cool. Okay, and so yeah, that's a little bit about like to put in a little bit of environment where we're going to continue character creation because I really enjoy character creation a lot. And so the next thing you do is try to have like an inner demon that you're masking. So I chose the like 7 sins, but like these will like when you have it also instructs you about like how you act. So there's like pride, vanity, greed, gluttony, lust, wrath, sloth, and envy. And so depending on how you react in a situation, you can like if you're trying to hide your pride in a situation, you can have it's a plus it's a plus 10 to your roll. But if you're trying to like not mask your inner demon, it's a minus 10 to your roll.
So you're basically, if you're going for, I'm going to show my demon, my roll is going to be easier, but I'm actually showing my inner demon in that sense. Or I have to try to hide it, thus not revealing what actually going on inside of me, but I'm going to have a penalty to my roll.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And so you can choose that. I'm going to try to be I'm gonna do I'm gonna do greed. I just want to have the biggest chicken farm ever. What is everyone else choosing?
I think I'm going for pride, because I'm very convinced that it is my capabilities and my skills alone that make me this talented, up and coming young merchant. And I very much pride myself on that. Maybe completely unbeknownst to me that it's my grandmother who's also making sure with these rituals that this bad luck is kept away from the family. I'm just fully convinced I have the education. I'm the young hotshot here, and I'm going to show people how proud I am of that.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that.
I'm gonna
Okay.
go for envy. I've never asked my mom, who was like came to the US at the age of like 1920,
Wow.
and then said, just as you, Alex, well, your dreams were my dreams.
Yeah.
Like, were you ever envious?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with envy for this game.
Oh man. Yeah, I always wonder that. I should call my mom after this.
I know, I'm gonna call my mom after this too.
I'm going with Ralph because I have the feeling that like the rest of the family forgets about our values and everything, and this makes me kind of angry and everything.
Right. Okay. Sort of like you just have like a temper
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, great. Yeah, and so these roles, sort of like this should like sort of guide like how you do your actions. Of course, you can like try to mask them, but like Marcus explained really, really well. It's a little bit harder to try always like putting on that mask for your like inner demons. And so for your inner demons, you'll never really get rid of them per se, but you can alleviate them in a scene. Um, as well. Okay, so red strings of fate. So in like Chinese mythology, there's a like uh, usually like lovers are romantically tied by like a red string around their pinky. Like wherever you go, like there's someone destined. You're like destined to be with people, and this person, and you're able to see it because are the god of love sort of and marriage has like tied a red string to you. So I interpreted that there's like many kinds of love in this world, and so we are tied by familial love. And so this is like, so the red strings of fate sort of like represent our connection to each other, our as a family member. And so I would love if each of us, like you have two options, answers one of them. And so it's very similar to like PBTA if you played it as well. So my two are: somebody requires more self-discipline. Describe a time you needed to remind them of their loyalty and how their actions affects family. Or I could do: somebody knows of your insecurities and weakness. Describe a time you failed in your duties and how you bribed them to stay silent. Um, Ooh, I don't remember writing these, and I'm just like, wow, they're really spicy. Uh, and so we want to try to connect with like different people if we can, as well, so that everyone gets a chance to be connected to each other. So I'm gonna say the child. The child requires more self-discipline. I I think as the child, if you're okay with it, I think we funneled all our funds into you. You're a talented merchant, but I think at one point you were discussing going to a different like schooling option. Maybe you're just like, I want to study history in like as well, or law, and we're just like, no, no, no. You have to study business. Like there is
That's good.
no there you can't go into the arts. You can't go into sciences. Like you are made to to be like an entrepreneur and expand the chicken family. No one else knows as much about chickens than you.
That's a good one. Totally agree with that.
Yeah. Um, so that's my red string of fate. Does anyone else have like other ones they can connect with other people?
to think of what kind of connection I would have to my mother,
Ooh. Yeah.
to Caro in this case. I don't know what kind of relationship I have with Caro, with grandmother. I guess since she is very focused on upholding the family traditions. Mm, Maybe because I want to put everything into the prodigal son. And the once a year tradition of going shoeless can be a something that can hinder my son.
Yeah.
Him being forced to go to uni shoeless for a day is going to hinder him, hinder his outlook and professionalism. And grandmother, we have to be a bit more progressive on this.
Mm.
This cannot stand. There has to be some pushback here. So would that be the second point that draws evil spirits in some ways? If
Oh. So yeah, which one are you trying to answer? The one that says your mother draws evil spirits to them. Ooh.
I think so. This is
Describe
my
tiny childhood their foolishness and rectify their mistakes. So, oh, grandma draws evil spirits to them. Grandma might be the reason why we have to throw the salt.
yeah,
Wow.
maybe because as the mother, it's like it's foolish to have a day without shoes.
Right, right,
The cost of bad luck cannot be worse than costing my son uh, a day of perceived humiliation by standing in front of his peers barefoot.
right. Oh, that's really good. I mean, how does grandma? How do you react to that?
I assume not well.
Uh, at the moment, I try to find. I mean, in the thing we have where it's standing with the red strings of faith. Um, I, I can't find like anything with like questions or anything.
Oh,
That
sorry. It should be like the play material, and you should be on like the first page.
okay, wait.
Yeah, I know. At some point, I will have to change this
Oh,
layout so that you're not going
there's the
between
play
two.
material. Ah, okay, wait. Uh, okay,
Yeah.
so
There's
I'm going with like the father of the family.
oh yeah.
He needs constant advice and guidance because he has only his chicken farm in his head and wants to grow this, and that sometimes he is a bit too stubborn on this. And there was once this time where he tried to get like someone who would finance the farm and everything. And because of that, he forgot the like a very large family meeting that was going to happen, because he valued that financial transaction more than the family. So that basically brought him dishonor.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah, that's ooh, that hits my heart. Now I really need to call my mom after this game. Like, I think about all the times where I'm just like, oh no. Okay. This means you shouldn't skip out on your family gatherings, y'all. If you watch and think about it. Okay, cool. So so what I'm hearing is that there's like a little bit of tension between like grandma and like father. I'm just like, we gotta sacrifice family times. I can't always like do family things because I gotta make sure like this business works. So there's tension with that. Um, Sounds like. And then there's tension with like your daughter and uh like Jima and like my wife. There's like tension there because Both, it seems like, yeah, you are just like, we shouldn't be just like walking around university with no shoes. That's not great. That's
Exactly.
we should be more progressive. And then you're just like Gma's like family plus tradition. Okay. Sounds really good. And this child, we have tension because I want you, because like, again, the entrepreneurship is just like really strong. You are the only, you know, child in our family.
Exactly.
Who am I going to give this chicken farm to? Not, I want it to be remaining in the family.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I think I still have to pick my red string of fate then.
You sure do.
Which let's see if we can get this, close this circle up. It's not really a circle. Nothing in the family is a circle. I'm actually gonna go for someone in the family, someone you look up to, and in this case, it's grandma that I look up to, and it's especially grandma's sometimes defiant behavior, that she has the spirit to speak up against my father, to speak up against other people. She might be a bit angry sometimes or feel like wrathful from time to time, but I admire her bravery to just speak up. And I'm thinking that that's something, considering especially the thing that I might have been prevented from actually going into an education that I personally want for the sake of the family business. I wished that I had the courage and bravery to speak up against my family. And grandma is what I try to emulate there, but what I'm just don't achieve, because I'm torn. I'm in this situation where I want to honor the family, but I also want to kind of honor myself. And I need to look up to my grandma to find that bravery to speak up for myself.
Right. Oh, wow. Okay. Very exciting. This is a very interesting family dynamic. We created our family. Okay, so all of us have like 20 points to sort of put so that we can start off our family. And I can start again to just show it as an example. So I feel like with my 20 points with like family blood, I feel like maybe it's like a minus 5 for now, because um, I don't feel like I do a lot of family gatherings. I feel like I'm doing this for the family, but I feel like I care about the business a little bit more. And then I have 15 points still. I feel like I'm going to put 10 because, it takes a lot of intellect um, to sort of start up a business. And I'm going to do 5, put 5 in family voice, because I feel like I do have like a strong voice in the family, which influences like the child to go into the business. And so all these like 3 stats, like voice, intellect, and blood, they all represent. So the family voice stat represents like how, like, all these stats represent problems, like how we see problems and how we would like deal with them. And so like you can either use like your voice, your presence. You can use like your intellect, so maybe you're like very clever as to like how to solve a problem. And family blood, like do we lean towards our family or like our family values to like solve problems. And so I I put -5 in the family blood because like I'm just like I'm not sure about that. I don't know if I necessarily push like use the family in that way to solve problems. So yeah, that's what I did. Okay, who wants to go next with their 20? Where are they gonna go?
So with the 20 points,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, considering my education that's been put into me, I would like to put 10 points into the family intellect.
Yeah.
So to bring that up to 20 then. And that leaves me with 10 points left. Then I'd like to put 5 more into the family voice. And if I put 5 into family blood, does that cancel out the -5 that you put in, Alyx?
It sure does. It makes it 0 then.
It makes it 0 then. Okay. Then I am going to do that, my final 5 points, with just a bit of tie, because I think there's a conflict with the child, is that he wants to do right by his family, by the blood of the family, but he also seeks his own freedom. So that's where the 5 points, that there's investment in the family, but there's also a bit of an internal struggle.
Okay.
So those are my 20.
That's really good. Cool.
Let's see.
Who's next?
I guess I'll go. So just to clarify, blood is the relationships we have with our family members, not necessarily with tradition itself.
Right. Yeah. Like relations with family members.
Then with 20 points, I kind of want to pump like 15 into blood, because as the mother, I'm reinvesting everything I have into the success of those behind me, those in front of me.
I like it. I like it.
So let me get that to 15. But I have some opinions about how to go about that.
Mm-mm.
And I'll give my last 5 to voice in that case.
Nice.
Okay, I'm putting 10 into family blood.
Mm-hmm.
Because like our family is very valuable, more valuable than any kind of business, and like I'm 5 to family voice, because I'm speaking up about this.
Yeah.
What's going on there, and I have my own opinion about it, so I'm pretty worried about it. And -5 to family intellect.
Why is that? Why did you do that?
Well, while especially the male part in our family is so into this business thingy, and wants to grow us also on the on the more richer side, I would say. I believe that like, okay, yeah, but we don't need to be rich or have anything like a big farm or anything to have like a good family.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is our starting stats for the game. And so yeah, I think we're ready with. Oh no, that's not true. So we have one more thing, which is the family beliefs. And so you thought you knew your character. You have one more thing to think about for your character. And so 2 have been chosen for each family member already, but you just need to choose like one more. So again, if you are like, for example, if you're the child, these are 2 beliefs that you already have, but you can choose one more, and you don't have to tell us what you chose, but again, it helps you guide how you act as like your character. So for example, me as a father, stability and tradition are more important than exploring uncertainty. That's a belief I will have. But from the bullet points on the main document, where it says family belief, um, You can choose any of them to go fast. You must go slow first. Hold back emotion shows emotional strength. You can choose failure is just as painful as death. Leaving's not an option. If you're not perfect, then society and family will just judge you with disapproval and rejection. The only tool you have is a hammer, so every problem looks like a nail, and push through the pain. I'll have to, yeah. So you can choose one additional family belief that helps you like shape your character. And for example, if I said push through the pain, anytime there's a painful, maybe a painful moment or event, I will have to push through it because that's my family belief. Did I say we were done? I was lying. Already. And so there's, so I hope everyone's chosen a family belief.
And we can keep these family beliefs to ourselves. We
Yeah.
don't have to share them with each other.
You don't have to share them.
Gotcha.
You can share them when like people are like, "Hey, why are you acting that way?" Or like you choose to do it yourself.
Perfect.
Got it.
Yeah.
And the other two are that tracks as mother. Family's well-being comes first, your individual need comes after. Control through any means is justified in the end, which are the given two beliefs for mother.
Yeah. Those are the beliefs for the mother.
Yeah, for the child, the default ones are exploring uncertainty can be more important than tradition, and upholding tradition and giving deference to elders will gain their approval.
Yes.
Which I think is extra interesting because I have this red string of fate with the grandmother giving deference to the elders. That's interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting.
No, I think with my part, I have kind of like a smaller conflict because it says, yeah, you have seen all the ways the world moves and want only the best for everyone, but also calm words so faster than anger. And with like a character who has some kind of like a small anger problem, this is.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess like you believe these, you know that they can be true, but I guess like our inner demons get the better of us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
I think we all know, but I don't know. Yeah, sometimes anger gets the better of me. Yeah. So those should like those. So these are just like beliefs that like you hold as a like you know that they can be true, but they're just used to guide. You don't have to necessarily always act that way. But it is something that like is an expectation of yourself, almost an additional expectation. And so blood tokens. And so I talked about how like there will be like scenarios, there'll be strange occurrences, and there'll be in the game inviting a ghost into the world. And so blood tokens are really a reinforcement of your role within the family. So you blood tokens can combine voice and intellect family stats to create a new blood family stat. And that is the time. And so you can only use one um, blood token once per game, because if you use it anymore, we're inviting way too many ghosts into the mortal world. Way too many. And so these are triggers for like someone else to gain a blood token. So your triggers, like for example, we can all choose these triggers. Someone else will gain the blood token. So if I chose every time someone echoes your word and guidance exactly, they receive a blood token. So these are used to like sort of reinforce like your family expectations and roles again. So if, for example, Ida uh, or like the mother echoed my words and guidance exactly, then the mother would receive a blood token. Yeah. So if anyone has a choice of trigger, I can Mine can be every time someone echoes your words and guidance exactly, they receive a blood token. That's going to be my trigger.
Right.
I will say then that anyone who reaffirms the child's path to success with I think for the mother would trigger a blood token, if I understand that's how it could work. Okay.
Yeah, you would receive like a blood token if someone reinforced like the child's success. Sure. Yeah.
Because that's what mother's all about.
Yeah. You want your child to succeed.
I would pick every time someone questions your actions, they receive a blood token. So I think that really fits the child character in this scenario, that every time they question what you would like to do, they get the token for that.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Jima, what are you thinking?
I would also go with every time someone questions your actions.
Oh, child and Jima. Oh no.
Oh, wow. Maybe child and grandma are more alike than they think.
Most likely.
Most likely. Okay, cool. So, yeah, we're almost very close to like role playing. So this is like the first phase, which is like explain the rules and character creation. We're almost out of it. And so the next part is like I'm gonna explain family moves, and so it's similar to like maybe you see in PBTA. There's like basic moves. So these family moves is something that all of us can use. And in the next page, you can see like these are all moves available to you, and you would roll with voice. Or like there's associated moves that you can roll with blood, associated moves that you can like roll with intellect. And so because I love video games so much as well, I wanted to create like a different kind of system where you advance in your moves. And so you can do one or the other. So if you succeed in your role, you can get like a move from the tree of advancement, like tech trees. Like there are tech trees in this game where it says like you can choose this path or this path. And so if you succeed, you can go to the success tree, but if you fail, you go to the failure tree. And yeah, I know. And so, for example, looking at, oh, I'm also like looking at myself and like, why did I format it that way? But it is what it is. We'll see. We'll do a final layout. So for my like, if we look at the grandparent, they have like it's like if you go the way top to the document, the play materials, we see the grandfather, and if the grandparent, if the grandparent succeeds in their role, they can choose either one, the sage or the ancestor path, for that one move. So you can either gain +10 intellect family stat, or you can gain +10 for the family stat, whichever one you want. But once you choose one for that tier, they're all like in different tiers. You cannot choose the other one. You have to move on to the next tier. Yeah, and so those are advancement trees.
And these changes are permanent for the game.
Yeah, it changes like permanently, like the family stat itself or your personal stat. It depends on what like the move is, but like it's a way like each scene, you're only able to gain one from each tree, and it's like character advancement. People usually do after session, but like after every scene, you will advance as like a person through these trees, and so that's in this game. I really wanted to have like represent like how a person like evolves throughout a game. rather than just like at the end of every session. I was hoping to make this game like a one shot, which is very quick. You can play between like, like 3 or 4 scenes. But for time purposes, we'll probably just like be able to play maybe like 1 or 2 scenes at best. So that's like trees of advancement. We have our family stats, which which I talked about being like our shared family stats. So all of us would roll from the same stat that we've already established with like our 20 points that we put in each of them. And gaining these moves would be, and creating superstitions are only ways that we'll be able to like increase or decrease depending on the moves and the superstition. Does that make sense? Any questions?
It does.
Yeah.
I think also once we play it and you remind us the mechanic, we're like, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks
True.
everyone. Thanks everyone for going through this, like learning a new system on the fly. It's so exciting.
That's part of the fun of this, to learn a new game.
Yeah, who doesn't want to play like new stuff? And so yeah. And so that's how like our shared family stats or trees of advancement, family moves, and family objectives sort of work. And so how we advance from like scene to scene is like once we increase each of the family stats at least once. It doesn't matter how much like the number, just at least you have to raise it at least once from its like original number. Then we can move on to another scene. But until then, we have to like stick within like the current scene we have, and it can be like in any timeline. It could be in our past, it could be our present, it could be our future, like of like where you want to be. And so it can be in any part of like the timeline. And then we talk about like scenarios, strange occurrences, family superstitions, inviting ghosts into the world. And so how we enter scenes is that I sort of give you like a prop or like a set piece, and you like roll on this like roll table. And so it's like at the very end of like the main document. So each of us like will roll one after the other like a scenario, and or a set piece rather. And so, for example, again, if I rolled for bright red lanterns, then I could set the scene and say, "Oh, we're in a festival with bright red lanterns." And then, if say the child Marcus um, rolled rolled and got like firecrackers, then you would enter the scene and say, "Yeah, yes, we're in a festival, and we're at the exact moment we're having firecrackers go off." And so this next part is almost like a little bit improv, almost like yes anding our previous person, and like utilizing what their set pieces are, so that helps us like enter the scene. So and then anytime we fail in any of our like basic moves or family moves, then we automatically like introduce a strange occurrence whenever we like fail one of our moves. And then we can use like a superstition to then like buff out that like strange occurrence. So again, you can draw a strange occurrence that says like weird chorus of like lively frogs are playing at this festival. Well, any one of us can say, "I'm going to create a superstition," and then gain like a permanent buff to our family stats. And then throughout the whole game, throughout all the scenarios that we play afterwards, if there is any relation to that incident or like strange occurrence we saw, we always have to follow it. So if, for example, if like our Jima saw the frogs and said, we have to make sure that when we see frogs, we sing with them, or else they're gonna our house is going to be infested with frogs. So we don't want that. So every time we see an animal and they bark at us, we have to bark back, or we have to like if we see a cat, we have to meow back because otherwise they're gonna infest our house.
Right.
Yeah, and so it's just trying to understand our supernatural occurrences. And the last thing is inviting a ghost into the world. So if we never ever look at any of our strange occurrences, or perhaps the mother's just like, I'm just gonna come on cryptids, come on ghosts, come on into the world, then we can only have succeed on chasing away the ghost by using a family blood roll. And again, this is the time you can use your blood tokens to combine voice and intellect to make like a brand new blood roll. And you can only use blood tokens, again, can only be used once per scene per game. And so if we fail, then it means death, and we all just like it's game over. It's our fail.
So inviting a ghost is actually a really dangerous thing to do if you're not sure you can deal with the ghost.
Absolutely, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's definitely like a risky thing. I mean, if you try to do it, you can get like a free advancement and be like, yeah, I invited a ghost, but it's very risky. And I hope you viewers at home don't try inviting ghosts into your life because it can be, again, very risky. I want to avoid all that bad juju too. And so, yeah, we can start the game now.
All right.
Cool. Is there any questions before like moving forward? I know it's a lot of information.
Not at this point. I'm just very curious to see this in action
Yeah, I'm ready
and
to roll with it.
see what kind of ghost story we're going to tell.
It's very curious. Yeah. I'm gonna roll my d8. I'll come in first again,
Okay, I've
just
got
to
dice ready.
help.
So we need D100s and I guess a D8. So
Yes.
Yeah, if you can get a D100, but really you need like two D10s and a sort of like a D8 for this game.
Gotcha.
Yes. So I got a 6.
Mm.
So it is. I got tasty round mooncakes with lotus paste. So it
delicious.
is currently fall, and we are celebrating the Mid Autumn Festival. So I'm gonna just put that really quick. Tasty round mooncakes with lotus paste. That's how I'm gonna enter the scene really quickly. So this is the scenario. And I am going in there. I'm trying to sell our mooncakes with chicken, chicken meat and the eggs. And I have a vendor stall right there, and I'm just like, come around, come taste the Wong special mooncakes. They have chicken in them, but they also have the most wonderful egg yolks. Have all of you ever had like mooncakes before?
I have.
Yeah. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. You should grab yourself a mooncake if you haven't. They're really good.
I all my dorm mates in university, I went to high school, a lot of Asian students, and they were so wonderful. And I looked forward to every year to Autumn Moon Festival because microwaves were not allowed, rice cookers were not allowed, hot pots were not allowed, but we whipped them all out from under our beds.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Um, yeah, so they're usually like this like they're really like rich pastries with like usually like lotus paste in them, and they have like an egg yolk center, and so yeah, it's really neat, and so that's how I'm entering the scene. We buy our cakes here, get them hot, get them fresh.
Nice.
Who wants to enter next?
I'll roll. See what I got.
Okay.
I got a 3. So a flower party, silk, and can you pronounce that for me?
Yeah, Chi Pao.
Shipao, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so a Chi Pao is like a traditional Chinese like dress. That you might have been able to see like if you haven't seen one, you can like look it up really quick on the internet. There's a lot of styles, but it's like yeah, it's just a traditional like Chinese dress. You can either be wearing it, you can either like it's just like you don't need to be wearing it per se. You could just like it just is in the scene with you somehow.
I will say as mother, I'm next to my husband at our family stall, and in order to attract the attention, I'm wearing a modest shipao, and I am indeed holding the sign that highlights the Wong family um, uh, dumplings with the special chicken in along with the yolks. So just kind of standing there stoically trying to smile. I'm not the marketing person. I am not. I'm doing this to support a family.
Oh, oh, honey, you're doing such a great job. You are looking so good holding that sign.
How
People
many
are
have we
eating
sold?
up. You are doing everything for the household. In fact, yeah, this is why I adore you. This is why we got married. This is because we have the same, we're on the same page about our family business.
Flatter the customers, get their money.
Yeah. In fact, you know what? You know who else should be at this stall with us? It should be our child.
Let's
Where's our
see. Let's see where the child is. I'm gonna roll this d8 here, and I got a 5.
Ooh.
Steaming soup
Oh, I
dumplings.
miss those so much.
Oh, I'd say that the child, now that you mention that our child should be here as well, is currently not at the family stand, but a little bit diagonally across from the family stand, and is talking to the owner of the soup dumpling stand to try to set up a new business opportunity for maybe the chef for these dumplings would like to acquire some of her chickens or eggs that we also have at the chicken farm for any kind of other recipes that they have. So actually the child is haggling and business talking for the family at this point, while sometimes like looking over his shoulder at his parents, mother in the beautiful chipao, and father doing a great job selling selling the mooncakes, while also trying to expand the business of the family.
Yeah, I mean, what would that conversation look like? How are you trying to sell like the bit? Like, where are you right now? Like, yeah, the
So,
business and
so
yeah.
I actually have a cup with dumplings in front of me, and I'm taking a few bites, and I'm looking like, these are some fine dumplings. But I think that I know the right ingredients to make them even better. How are you actually making your dough for the dumplings? I asked the owner of the dumpling stand. And because I think that maybe adding some of the eggs from the Wong family into your mixture for this, that could really enhance the flavor. Not, to be fair here, not to say that this flavor is in any way lacking. I think the flavor is its own special thing here. But I think we could bring this up a little bit. Don't you think?
Yeah, I'll play this vendor, unless anyone else wants to play the vendor. Hmm. Yeah. Is that so? Tell me about your chicken farm business. I've heard of the Wong chicken farm, but I haven't personally been able to. What makes your I haven't been able to interact with you all. What makes the
Oh,
chicken?
well, I'm not surprised that you heard of the Wong chicken farm. Again, who has not heard of the farm? My father is the one who raises all these magnificent chickens we have, and with the support of my lovely mother, they have over the past years expanded the business so much that I'd say there's hardly anyone in the province who does not have a chicken that hatched from an egg from the Wong chicken farm.
Hmm. I'm gonna be stroking my beard. Is is that so? Is what can you what can you provide? What is how much will it cost to get a Wong chicken into these dumplings?
Well, I must say, these dumplings are delicious. And if there's one thing that puts me into a good mind for business, it's good food. So, how about I introduce you to my father and we have a conversation over some steaming dumplings and one of our delicious mooncakes. And I cannot emphasize how great they actually are. There is everything about them is perfection. And if we put those two together, maybe this could be a union of mooncake and dumpling.
Okay, come back with your father, and we'll talk about this. As you said, over steaming dumplings and mooncakes. I'm very excited about this business venture you've just offered me. Very much so.
I politely nod at the other merchant, finish my dumplings, and then make my way to the stand of my family.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Yeah, I mean, our son, you come back to us. What were you doing? You should have been at the stall.
I look at my parents. What what exactly should I have been doing at the stall? I think you are doing a fair business, father and mother. There
I
are
think your
custom-
father miscounted. Please ensure that we have all the funds correctly tallied for.
Oh yeah, I'm not that great with the money counting. I
Oh,
hire people
well,
to do that.
I quickly look at the coins we have. Maybe we have like a little abacus or some other kind of counting device to run a quick calculation with it. Father, while I'm running these numbers, I just spoke to the owner of the stand of the dumplings over there. And I do think that if you were looking for a way to sell off some of the new hatchlings or some of the eggs, that would be a very, very good business opportunity.
I think you're right. I think. You know what, son? I doubt you, but at this moment, you're really pulling in for the family.
You should not
Um,
doubt him. If he says this is the right path, then we should follow it without any hesitation.
but but my beautiful wife. I know that we can't. We put all our funds into our son, but we can't just. We have to make sure that he is the spitting image of myself and you, so that we can continue with the business. And speaking of, I think one more person should be at the stall. Where's your mother in all of this? Is she at home?
She should. I told her this was a very important day and that we needed to provide family unity. Where
Yeah,
is
I
she?
usually skip out on these gatherings. Not your grandma. She usually yells at me saying that I miss all these functions, and I only missed every other piano performance of our sons.
And he only made regional champion. He should have been national champion.
He should have been. I mean, but we don't talk about that. We don't talk about how he's a slight disappointment in that he's not perfect. But as long as he has good business chops. We don't talk about that.
Son, if you want to open this dumpling venture, I will support you. I have calluses on my fingers from stamping out all of these mooncakes. I will gladly surrender my fingers to pleating dumpling folds.
Well, if you have so much trust in me, mother, why do you bring up the piano championship? Why do you bring up that disappointment there? Why put this stain on this upcoming business opportunity?
Because this is
Are
your
you really
redemption.
sure that you support me?
This is your redemption. This is your chance to prove to those judges that you were robbed.
What? So you do think I have to prove something here? Do you think that I have to prove my capability as a merchant then?
Yes, to support all of us. And I think you are going to do that resoundly. No, I do not think. I know. You will. You must.
And at this point, the granny shows up having like a pack with some red lanterns in her
Huh?
arms. So, first, your son needs to prove that he can upend his lanterns. And looking towards the father, I told you before that you should have taken these with you when you were assembling the stall. Look at the chance stall. It looks much more beautiful than us, and they have a lot of costumers.
Oh, I mean, grandma. I mean, I just take care of yelling at the business. It's okay. It doesn't matter how aesthetically beautiful, as long as we have a solid plan as to how to sell the eggs. I mean, what would you do better, grandma?
First, pushing this package
never
of lanterns towards the the son of the family, the youngest one. Like, now hang this up. Totally ignoring the farmer.
Grandmother, I'm currently...
He has
Never
more
mind.
important things to do. Give them to me. I will do everything that is needed.
Well, if someone would have listened to Grandma before, I would have not have to deal with this anymore.
He is
Alright.
absolutely correct.
Fold them over.
No. You never listen to that, what I say.
Oh man. Well, if you're doing a great job, spring up these lanterns. And I'm gonna take an opportunity to look at like the family moves that I could possibly do. I could get involved in a conflict that isn't my business, investigate what another character is doing, spot something that everyone has overlooked, overcome a challenge using your intellect, demand another character to act within their expected duties. Okay, so I'm going to demand that our child is going to act within their expected duties. If the character does so, they gain a -10 to their next ongoing roll. But if they refuse, they're harmed by a strange occurrence. Dun dun dun.
Dun,
But
dun,
first,
dun.
I know. But first, I have to roll to see if I gain anything from the success trees or the failure tree, and I have to see if I interact with a strange occurrence. Okay, so, Jima, I'm going to tell you that I demand that you act within your expected duties. You're supposed to uplift and support a family business. How am I going to take care of you in your old age if we don't have any money? I'm going to roll my D100. Grandma,
That
we
is
can't.
for-
You got to support us at the stall. You're not that old. You can still like yell at people and tell them you got to sell these mooncakes. Okay.
And that means you have
So-
to roll below our voice score, correct?
Yeah, with voice. I'm going to see. Okay, where's my luck?
Relax.
I got a 68.
Wow.
So I failed, and a strange occurrence now appears. And I also take something from the failure tree. So, there's a lot of bouncing around. But I'm going to go to my advancement tree for father, and I'm going to say I'm going to gain tyrant. So I do a +10 to the voice stat, but when I gain it, what are you protecting but then I have to answer the question, what am I trying to protect the family from? And so I'm trying to protect the family from failure. I don't want my family to fail. Like, even though I'm speaking very harshly to grandma right now, I should be deferring to grandma, and I know grandma knows best, but she didn't build up this business like I did. I started it, I founded it, I take care of the chickens every day. I'm trying to protect the family from failure and like having no money. I don't want this family to go into poverty. Yeah, and so there's a +10 to voice. So right now there is a 30 to family voice, but a strange occurrence occurs. So I'm going to roll from the strange occurrence.
Ooh, our first strange occurrence.
Yeah, our very first strange occurrence. Um, and that's a 4. That's so unlucky. Oh my god.
Ooh.
And you now see that a cast of mice perform a puppet-like drama under mass.
But you're technically the only family member who sees this. Am I correct? Or is this like visible to all of us?
It could be it's a possible it's all of you can see it
Okay.
perform a puppet-like drama under mass. Okay, so that is our strange occurrence right now. G- Jima, I mean, my lovely wife's mother. I don't know if you see what I'm seeing right now, but right now I'm seeing a cast of mice. Aya perform a drama under. Do you see that at the Chong stall? That's what happens when you have too many aesthetic right there. You see, there's mice doing weird things.
I mean, the songs have always been kind of a little bit on their own, a bit off. But we all know they were not originally from our town. They just moved in here a few generations ago. So it's of course they brought something with them.
Oh my goodness. Um, uh, child, you try to deal with this. Can you go and see what's happening at the Chongs right now?
I look over at the Chongs and while still having like the box with the lanterns in my hand, I put it down and go over to that stall, trying keeping an eye on this strange portrayal of mice acting out some strange dance.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I'm basically I'm assuming like these mice are dancing all around the stall or maybe a little bit underneath it. They're clearly visible doing a strange dance, and I'm just gonna lower myself down so I'm a bit closer to the mice doing their dance. I'm just gonna I observe them, and I'm actually kind of fascinated by this occurrence because it's unexpected, it's it's different, and I would actually think that these mice are just having a really good time at this point, and they're just they're just doing what they feel like. And they're outside of this whole conversation of what should be done, what shouldn't be done, which business deals should we do, what I did wrong in the past, where I failed at in the past. These are just these creatures that live in the moment right now. And I'm just kind of observing them. Maybe anyone who would look at me would be kind of, would question, like, okay, why is he just looking at the mice? But I'm just looking at them performing their little theater.
Oh, oh, do you, my wife. Can you see our child? Our child's just staring at the mice. I hope these mice don't give our son any ideas of pursuing drama. Do you remember that time our child almost talked to us about having a drama degree? They don't get jobs. They don't get they People with drama degrees do not run chicken farms.
This this is my failure. I will go correct the situation, and I will quickly hang up the last lantern I had and go uh over to the son's shoulder and perform like drama. So these little dancing mice are literally wearing masks.
Yeah.
Son, son,
Yes, mother.
leave these mice be. They clearly do not have. Look at them. They're even too ashamed to show their faces here. This display is not of any value.
Oh, does this display not live up to your expectations, mother?
No, it does not. And sometimes we have to also ourselves put on masks to to buffer out any distractions so that we can go for what we achieve. So cover your face and move on. Come.
is that is that the development of a superstition? Is mother? Is that how you want to like deal with this the superstitions? Like you gotta cover your face whenever weird things happen.
Blinders.
Yeah, blinders.
Yeah, basically. Sure.
Cool. That's okay. So the superstition now is, whenever you see weird things, you gotta put blinders on. You gotta
Yes.
have blinders for like the goal. Okay,
Don't let the strange superstition occurrence distract you from the goal. Just blinders on. It's not there. La 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 la.
No. That will work perfectly for any other weird things that hopefully we don't see or do see.
Feels like there's some symbolism. It's like there's some symbolism in there. Just put on the blinders for the weird things that happen. Just let them happen.
Yeah.
If I don't
Cool.
see them, they don't see me.
That's a really good way to like deal with that. So I'm just gonna put like a sticky note right there
Yeah.
to like remind us what it is. And you can roll now to see like what like your like instructions and creation of this like superstition does to like the family stat.
Okay, so I rolled the D100 now.
Or D8. D8.
You tell me.
Oh, right, yeah. Because
Yeah, just to increase the super.
So what am I rolling? What dice?
D8.
D8. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because table. There we go.
Yeah.
I got a 5, and that's a plus 10 to the intellect family stat. Oh, curious.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh wow. That's really good. I mean, why like can you connect like why it was like very intellect like how you increase the intellect with that superstition?
Because we have to think logically about this. We can respect and understand traditions and how they are important, but we have to look at math. We have to look at reason. We have to look at milestones and markers.
Good job, wife. That's also another reason why I married you. Look at that logic and reasoning. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, yeah. So after superstition, like we can come back and like role play. Like we can either like go to like another scene, a new scene. We can go like we can keep role playing on this one. Like usually you would like want to draw it out, so that like because we've already now increased intellect and we've already increased I believe like blood, but we haven't increased the voice yet. So that's the final piece if we want to move on from this like scene.
So there has to be someone needs to do something that might increase voice in that case.
Right. Yes. And you could like look at your tech trees and maybe they're like, I mean, you don't have to look at your tech trees. Sorry. There's like a way where like perhaps you want to do another family role and maybe at that time you can like gain another move from your advancement tree, or we'll find a way to like roll with voice to increase voice.
I actually have an idea for this because Mother is telling me to just act according to the superstition of like just shielding yourself, not looking at it, putting on the mask. I would like to try and roll with voice to persuade her to not look away at this point. I want to see these mice. I've been wearing a bit of a mask myself through my adolescence, and I want to keep looking at them. And at this moment, especially because Mother brought up something that happened years ago with the piano recital and everything, I don't feel like following her instructions. So I want to roll with voice to persuade her to not follow these instructions.
Cool. Yeah. And since I demanded, oh yeah, it's only grandma. Sorry, you don't get a -10. You just have to roll with voice now.
Exactly. So I'm
Yeah.
going to roll that D100, and I have to roll under a 30 on the
Mhm.
close but no cigar. It's a 38,
Oh, that was so close.
Where's your cat?
which means which means that I do fail. Below percentage, above percentage, take an advancement from the failure tree and interact with a strange occurrence. So I have to go for my failure tree,
Mhm.
which I'm currently looking at. That's the success tree. No, I have the failure tree. Which means I can get, if I read this correctly, I could get bully.
Mhm.
And that means that I can increase put a +10 for the voice of the family stat.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
when gained, I have to answer the question, how do you intimidate others in getting what you want?
Whoa.
Well,
I'm just, as mother walks away, shielding her gaze, just putting on these blinders, I now stand up straight and I hold my ground, and I'm still standing next to the dancing mice, but I'm also just glaring at her. I'm just really glaring at her without a single word, just trying to, if possible, like stare her down.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah. you're, st- you're staring at a mother who's just like not looking you. Get what you want. Yeah, you should and your question was like, how do you like demand like how do you intimidate others? You just like glare them down. Like
Yes, it's a bit like this. Like, I try to be intimidating, trying to be forceful in a way, but I'm not confident in what I'm doing, actually. I'm very much pretending to be confident in what I'm doing. In a way, like it could almost feel like a little bit like a more adult version of what a child does when they're like really unhappy with the situation. They're just
right.
staring at you, and you know there's a bit of anger boiling there, but they're not brave enough to actually speak up. That's kind of
Right.
what I'm doing here. I'm just staring and feel this anger in me, but I'm not brave enough to speak it out yet. One more reason I want to be like Jima, because she would say something at this moment.
Yeah, Jima, grandma wouldn't do that. So this is really good. So you failed. You do have to like roll for a strange occurrence to occur in addition to the mice. So we've already dealt with the mice, but another thing happens.
So we invited, there's another, whoops. There's another strange thing happening, and I'm going to roll a d8 for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 5, and that means with a 5 we have a very, very old man sitting on the side of a cemetery.
Cool.
So I'm guessing this festival is not too far away from the cemetery then. Maybe we actually have, from the stands with the lights and everything, we can see the cemetery in the distance. And as I'm like looking at my mother, who might not even respond to my glaring gaze at her, I look past her and I just see coming out of the cemetery is this ancient figure of a hunched man leaning on a cane, and he's just moving out of the cemetery, maybe not even really moving over the ground. There's no movement that actually touches the ground, and he's just looking into the direction of what's happening here, and he kind of also is just staring, and that takes me off guard. Like, what's happening now? There's this spectral figure which is now staring at me.
Yeah, very cool. So you can choose to like change the scene right now. So like we can all you can continue with this like we still have the very very old man sitting on the side of a cemetery, but we can like draw new scene pieces to help us like flesh this out. We can like jump in the timeline. We can be like fast forward like one day. We can be like yeah, like we can do whatever we want with that strange occurrence.
Yeah, we don't have to resolve a strange occurrence, right?
You don't
We
have
can,
to resolve it either. You can just lay it on the table and be like, I'm not gonna talk to that old man sitting by the
So
cemetery.
it carries over into another scene, just as a fresh setting to address it potentially.
Right. Yeah. It carries over to the next scene. It still occurs. We can still address it if we wanted to in the next scene. You can leave it. You don't have to address it right now, or you can you can carry it to the next new scene that we're gonna have.
I don't know what the rest is thinking, but I think at this point we might have a good moment where we can switch to a next scene, leave this
Yes.
one, this ghostly figure, leave that unresolved. Like a bit of, I feel like it's nicely ominous that we have this this ghost here unresolved, and then we can go to the next scene.
I'm for that.
And
Yeah.
maybe before we go to the next scene, maybe it's a good chance to take a little break in between,
Yeah.
if that's all
Yes.
right. Let's take a little 5-minute break
Sounds great.
to refill some drinks and get ready for the second scene that we're going to play. So we're going to be back at like 40, about 40, 41, whatever kind of hour it is currently wherever you are. Thanks everyone so far for joining in. We'll be back then in 5 minutes to continue these Chinese ghost stories we tell ourselves. Be right back. And we are back from our quick little break. Welcome back here at Horde of Tales, where today we're playing Chinese ghost stories we tell ourselves, which is brought to us by Alyx, who is so nice to share their game with us and already guided us through creating our family, the tensions that are within the family, and how we resolve those, and the ghosts that might come into our family here, which we're going to continue now. We just wrapped up our first scene, and we're going to start on a second scene. Isn't that right, Alyx?
Yeah, we sure are. Yeah, I don't have to start this time entering the scene. Someone else can start the scene.
Well, I think Grandma entered last in the last
Yeah.
scene, so maybe she can decide.
Okay, then. Okay, then I started the new scene. So this is. This is again the tasty round mooncakes.
You can do a different one if you want.
Okay. And then I'm taking the laughter of school children, and it's already pretty late, so the festival is nearly over. We are about to close the stall, pick up our stuff, and we can see that there is like still a bunch of like school children running around, having fun, trying to beg for leftovers from the stall so that they don't need to pay for them. So, and I'm standing there helping to pick up our things and looking at the children. And then to my daughter, like, so, I remember when you were in that age, you were so carefree.
I see these children now, and here they are instead of being at home studying.
That's what my mom said. Like it's just like anxiety. Just like, what are you doing?
No, it may be harder at first, but seeing our son, how he has grown and developed, and the success he will bring us all, it was all worth it in the end.
Ooh. Yeah. Do you want to enter with a different scene? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I guess accompanied me. We got some more mooncakes. I'm just gonna quickly reroll. My dice really likes mooncakes.
Who doesn't like it?
Yeah, I will say that as I'm having the discussion, I'm commenting on the loud school children. The group of children now seems to like really disperse as like like this string of firecrackers, especially those poppers, just kind of explodes at their feet, and they all just kind of disperse. See, this is just what I said. This the coins that they spent on this, just to leave garbage, just to make noise, could have been spent on a good pencil that would be auspicious in their next tests.
That's so cool. Mother, would you like to like make a roll at all? Doing like in your interaction with grandma? Like I hear that you're easing tension by providing an antidote almost.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Mm.
So that's a roll with voice.
Voice, yeah.
Okay.
Pumped up that voice.
Which currently is our
Thanks.
best stat.
Yeah, it is.
I choose you. Put these aside.
That's her.
What's a 23? What's her voice?
40.
Ooh! Yay!
Oh, you succeeded!
Yay!
Mother brings honor to us all. So in that case, you get to go take an advancement, like a move from the success
My
tree.
tree. Let's see what my tree has. Queen. There we go. Ooh.
Yeah. And you can take
Does-
either or from either tier.
Do I want to invest in a stat that's already high? Maybe try to round it out. No, let's round out plus 10 to the intellect, if I'm reading this correctly.
Okay, yeah. So you chose. Yeah, I'm trying to go through them too.
I think that was queen.
So yeah, you're the queen. So the table answers. So we don't answer. So you don't answer. We answer because we see your success. So the table answers, how do you lead this family to success? Son and grandma, how does mother lead this family to success as our queen?
By being strict in a clear way, setting the goals and being the one that keeps the family moving forward with almost endless vigor.
Endless vigor. That's
Yeah,
a really good
she has a very strong will, and she goes forward to achieve what she wants to achieve.
Yeah. I'd also say that mother is willing to sacrifice her own like time to make and to ensure that like everyone is like well fed, is well taken care of in this family because she she believes that she wants to make it easier for everyone, and so um, really the success of the Wong chicken farm is not to me but to mother.
I will add that plus 10 to intellect.
Neat.
That's a 25.
Wow, that was a really good roll. That was really good.
Which would mean if we had a blood token and we could combine the family voice and intellect, we could have a temporary blood of 65 at this point.
Yeah. If
Okay.
anyone wants to be like, hey, Ghosty, come into this world. And I believe, I think a lot of us probably have had blood tokens probably given to us because I think I've questioned your beliefs, son, and so I think I would receive one. I think maybe mother would as well, and so it's
Yeah.
very interesting to keep track of this.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard a lot of sun affirming things in that sentence, so as well. So
Oh yeah.
So we do have blood, at least there's 2 family members who have blood tokens at this point.
Mhm. Yeah, I think you also son, you also like followed my guidance in like upholding the family business. So I think you get a blood token. I think grandma, yours was what was your trigger again?
The same like the sun.
The question. I
Yeah.
think I
Yeah.
think people were questioning you, grandma.
All the time.
So we currently do have we have mother and grandmother in the current scene right now as they're overlooking their
Yeah.
children with the firecrackers and everything.
Mhm.
I'm gonna roll my DA to see how the sun enters the scene or what brings the sun in there. That's a 5. Don't tell me that's a steaming dumplings
Xiao
again.
lava.
Nah, do something else. Yeah.
Let's see. Come on, you have something else for me. That I also got the mooncakes. The dice really want to have a bit of mooncakes, don't they?
Eventually, we're
Ah,
gonna have to give the that's what they want.
silver, a silver comb with a dragon head handle. Ooh, that's a beautiful thing. Um, Watching grandmother and mother having their conversation, I have spent some of my own personal allowance on this silver comb with a dragon head handle, which one of the merchants from one of the nearby cities brought with them. And it's for myself. It's my own little beautiful comb. And I have it stowed in my pocket as I would like to make my way to the cemetery where I saw that ghost appear.
Oh.
And I am while I'm walking, I'm kind of have like one hand in my pocket with the silver comb as I'm like rubbing it, like kind of like calming myself, maybe some just like fidgeting with something to remain calm and make my way towards the cemetery and try to find this ghostly apparition.
Okay. Oh dang, you just went there.
He split the
Um
party.
you splitting the party.
That was pretty funny.
Scary. I
If
mean,
there's one member of a family who should do something irrational, it's the child. It's it's the child.
yeah. I mean, grandma, this is maybe this is your time to like, roll with like blood, like get it. Like maybe you notice the child wandering off to the graveyard and you can get involved with
Okay.
like not really a conflict, but this isn't your business either.
Okay, wait. So. Oh. Yeah,
Or
okay. I think, yeah. Yeah, because I want to keep the child safe. I saw this figure as well, and I smell this is a bad omen. This is a bad thing. This is like.
absolute, uh-huh.
So
Absolutely.
I'm leaving my daughter there in the middle of the conversation and following following my grandchild and like as he's already way off, I'm following up to him and grab him on his sleeve and like, so let's see, and be like, so yeah, don't go there. I have seen this figure as well. This is very bad. Don't interact with them. This will bring a lot of bad fortune. So
Oh, let's
okay,
see. Yeah.
let's see. Oh, blood. Oh god. Need to roll below 25, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. This is no good. Oh yeah. No. Wait, this is a 7.
Oh,
Oh, you got
Nice,
a 7!
nice.
Wow.
Didn't expect that. Either it's a 7 or a 700, but
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. Yeah, how do you I guess you succeed in what you're doing and you also get an advancement from the success tree.
yeah. Oh, wait a sec.
So exciting.
I didn't expect that. That took me totally off guard. Okay, so success. So as the voice of reason in this thingy right now, uh, so dun. So this would be on the success, and I'm taking
Yeah. Choose either
mm,
being a sage or
or an
ancestor.
ancestor, yeah, but I
Yeah.
think I would like to go with a sage in this case. Like, how did you set up this family for success?
Yeah. So
So
yeah,
yeah, so and how I set this up is no, wait, is this a question that the authors need to answer, or
yeah, the others need to
okay, yeah.
answer. Yeah. So how did grandma set up this family for success?
Um, Mother does a lot, but mother cannot do every single thing. And if it wasn't for grandmother having an extra eye and, you know, um, minding things that mother might not always prioritize, but grandmother does it with the best intentions. And these things
Makes
generally cannot bring harm, so they must bring some fortune. And if it wasn't for grandmother's extra eye and example, we wouldn't be as successful as we are now.
yeah. No, it's true. You know what she did is that you know what, she raised you, my wonderful, hardworking wife, with great values, and so, you know, you don't just get that from anywhere. You were raised right by your mother, and she set us up for success because she really does care about the family. Um, even though she is not so much the business side, she does care about taking care of the family.
Exactly. She is a bit of the. She's like the foundation of it all.
Great. Yeah, it sounds really good. Okay, so grandma and son are going towards the cemetery. Um, Mother, is there anything you want to do before I enter the scene?
If I guess if I enter the scene and see grandmother pulling son away, I immediately mention them to put their hands up as we are led out of the cemetery together.
Yeah. So you're not seeing this. You're not wanting to see like them going to cemetery. You have your blinders up,
Well, I go to the cemetery and I guess I see the old man.
right?
So the blinders would be up like, what is going on here? Oh, come, grandmother, son, we must go. Come.
Yeah. Um. Sure. I'm going to come into the scene and do a roll. I guess I'm going to, let's see. Let's roll two. Sorry. Okay. Ooh, I don't want a silver cone. I want that. Four. Not four, two times in a row. Seven. Okay, I'm just gonna come in with white leaded makeup as my next scene, and I'm going to say, um, my wife, I just found this tin of white makeup in your in like on the table in our house. Who are you wearing this like white makeup? Why are you wearing this white makeup?
Hmm. Ooh, well, let's see. how to make this into a roll.
You can make it into a role if you want. You can like investigate. You could be like you can investigate what another character is doing in the moment, but something weird happens. You can ask for help. Get involved.
So as the father of the family comes and shows me this like little compact with the white makeup, uh, mother would look like for the briefest of moments a bit guilty and like try to like snatch it back, and so to say like just it's just an old folly. It's not really important. We should throw it out. Give it to me, and I will throw it out at the first possible. When as soon as I see a receptacle or something to discard it. No,
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
I'm just saying that all our money has to either go to our son or to the business. We can't be spending frivolously. That's not how rich people, if rich people just spent all their money on frivolities, then they wouldn't be rich. We want to be funneling all of our money towards necessities for the business or for our son to be the best son he can be.
This is a frivolity. This is a frivolity, and I'm just going to like try to find somewhere immediately to like to just like really uh, just like dump it out like I want to get rid of it as fast as possible.
Oh my goodness. What is
I guess
um
this is a voice for the third bullet.
yeah, you
To
can ease
provide
tension.
ease tension, but I'm trying to be cryptic about it.
Hmm.
Okay, you rolled well, and you let's see.
Do you actually throw away or do you like hide it later?
If I succeed on the roll, I will throw it out. But if I fail on the roll, I will keep it, and let's see what that
It's
brings.
fair, yeah. You could try to use your like inner demon right now. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That what is the
Because you got envy.
Oh,
Hmm.
right.
in that
Yeah.
case, I rolled a 40. Oh no, but I'm rolling voice,
Mm-hmm.
and envy is only to blood. So it's not applicable in this case, if I understand it correctly.
So are you trying to mask your envy? Are you can use your envy to like make it like a minus 10, like on a 30. If you're
Even though I'm
showing
even though I'm rolling for I think voice.
Yeah, if because you rolled 40 for your voice, so if there's some way you can like you're not masking your envy at all, you can do like a minus 10 to your roll since you're like allowing yourself to like show like your inner demon to me, the being the father, which is like envy.
I would say just as background, maybe you can guide me on how I could mechanically work this out. Let's say that uh mother actually had a penchant for uh dressing up for like being a model in those beautiful paintings, and it was
Oh
of the
yeah.
absolute frivolities, and it was a luxury that she could not afford herself. She could not, maybe she catches glances of like pretty paintings and pretty magazines every now and then, because that
Wow.
she can never be that, because everything she has needs to go into the sun. And in this
Hmm.
moment having that makeup company, she's a little envious of the fact that she can't have that.
Right. Yeah. So she went out and splurged a little bit, got the compact, but like
And
somehow
I have to throw it out now.
but now you're just like, do I have to throw it out? Yeah, if you succeed or fail, yeah. So you succeeded. So you get an advancement from the success tree.
And as I move my hand to throw it, I pocket it. Like my hand goes whoosh. Let's see what the advancement. 'Cause I already got that one, so I guess I'm gonna go with the second one, which is Phoenix, and that is a +10 to the blood family stat. And when gained, the table answers, how does your quick thinking elevate the honor of the family?
That's really cool.
Quick thinking, honor the family.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Mother's.
say.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
Mother is good at also adapting to situations that come up, not just like not being set in a specific way. There's sure she's strict, but she also takes into account the things that happen, things that occur, things she has no control over. She can adapt to them. She adapts the plans and the plot and the course of the family to whatever kind of weather this boat the family has to sail through.
Nice. Grandma, what do you think?
Yeah, like her quick thinking resolved a lot of problems in the past, like when her son was still in school and did a lot of ruckus with other children, and like then there were a lot of problems coming up because of this. And she managed to resolve this pretty easily because of her quick thinking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I would agree with what you said. I would say that like mother is like very smooth in diplomacy, like always knows what to say. And I'm the one who gets us in trouble sometimes because I'm too pushy of a salesperson. But you know, mother is able to like make sure that I don't have any enemies because she knows what to say.
Then I guess I add the +10 to the blood family stats.
I
Yeah.
think didn't someone already adjust it? I think it already went
Oh,
up.
I think I just did it. Yeah, it already
Okay.
went up.
Then
It's-
then awesome.
You got it, Joseph.
35.
Yes.
So we're doing pretty good. So we already raised the family's intellect, the family blood. So now we just have to raise family voice, and then for the like time purposes, that would be like the end of our game, like these two scenes.
What I find interesting now here is that Mother is at least pretending to throw out the makeup because it's a frivolity, and Son has this silver comb that he bought for himself in his pocket. So, and Son is still there, and he's hearing this. I want to do something where I want to object to this statement of we should not spend money on frivolities. We should only focus on the business. We should only put all we have into it. Why do we not allow ourselves to also treat ourselves sometimes, to also sometimes enjoy the good life that we have and just live a little bit, not just focus on just the business. I'm actually gonna walk. We have the whole family here close to the cemetery right now, and I'm gonna walk up to the family and just pulling out of my pocket, I pull out the silver comb and I'm going to say like, well, it's Mother's choice if she does want to throw away that beautiful makeup, but I am going to keep this silver comb that I bought for myself because I think that sometimes you just need to reward yourself. Sometimes you just need to let go of all of that and just enjoy the beauty of life. And then almost a little bit like a little bit of like demonstrating to make my point, I start to comb my hair with the silver comb. And
My son, where did you get that?
at a great stall with many more other beautiful things, I think Mother would have liked them. And
Oh my God.
just brushing my hair, and maybe if the ghost is still there, if that ghost is still lingering in the graveyard, the ghost is watching us as we're doing this. This old ghost is just hovering over the scene, this tension in the family. And I need a little bit of rules guidance here because we need to still raise our voice for the scene. So this definitely feels like I'm gonna roll with voice, and because I want to persuade my family members by this show of emotion that I'm showing, persuade them that we have to also let go sometimes. I'm assuming I cannot combine that in a way to also invite a ghost, because I'm actually would like to. What I have as an idea is this ghost of this old man is actually kind of this residue of other family conflicts, of other tensions between families, and is actually drawn to this kind of conflict between living a bit and being dutiful. And with my actions, I kind of want to draw this ghost closer to the family to witness this.
Oh my goodness. Oh yes. You can definitely invite this old man who's like this ghosty sitting in the cemetery. So yeah, you can combine it. Like you're trying to like go against the grain. So you can so I guess like how this would resolve in like my head is that first you would gain a free advancement from the success tree because you were so risky in inviting this old man to like view our family conflict. And so, and then you can, so then you can roll on the invitation into the ghost world. And you can tell us how this old man is interacting with us. And then you'll have to you can use a blood token to combine voice and intellect, or you can just like use voice since like that's what you wanted to use.
Okay, right. Then I'm first going to take the advancement from the success table, and I'm going to go with the hero advancement, which
Nice.
which increases a voice by 10, bringing
Awesome.
that up to 50. And the table has to answer, how do you expand your independence? So how does the sun expand his independence?
Well, I mean, you buy stuff that I don't I don't really condone.
I will say that we have worked so hard to support our son, and we put every waking hour we have into a good person. And once his shoulders are broad and strong enough to do the heavy lifting, perhaps at the very end we will also let our shoulders down a bit, and this is how sun will repay us.
Yeah.
And yeah, he he has these actually he has the opportunity, expect the rest of the family, he has the opportunity to find his own independence in some way. I mean, he is still bound to certain things, but he has more options in his life than we ever had.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
With
Yeah,
that, as I invite then the ghost over, as I do that, it's this the ghost of the old man approaches while I'm just still combing my hair.
Yeah.
And I would like to spend my blood token then, the one I have, to combine intellect and voice for a temporary blood stab, which would bring it up to an 85.
That's very
at this
cool.
point.
Yeah, but before you roll the D100, you have to roll a D8. You have to tell me how this ghost is interacting with us.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
A D8. That's a 6. The mysterious and unexplainable disappearance of people. So what happens is that as this ghost comes closer, you actually notice that every remaining sound of the festival that was dying down is vanishing. There is no more sound of the school children that were playing, no firecrackers that are still being fired up. The stalls that we can look down on from the cemetery are empty. It's just the family here and the ghost of an old man now watching over us as the sun is so defiant in his behavior.
Holy cow.
And now I'm going to roll the D100 to see how this is gonna, because if I understand it correctly, if I mess this up, so if I roll higher than an 85, then we're all dead.
Yeah, we are just like game over. This is the end of our chapter.
I mean, the description was very much a bit the reverse of like Spirited Away.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't do well in the roll, we're the pigs now. We're next.
Yeah, we're gonna be pigs.
Okay. Well, rolling that D100. Ooh. Well, that's an 11. So the son keeps brushing his hair, and then as he looks at the faces of his family around him, he realizes that maybe he's been a little bit too harsh in this scene. This was a long day. We've all been working on the stall. We've all been working to the goal of being successful and strong as a family. And here he is, just being this stubborn child. And I slowly lower the comb, but I'm still gonna put it inside my pocket, inside my vest, whatever I'm having on. And just lower my head and say, I'm sorry. And then the ghost of the old man, who was just coming closer because there was this conflict and tension, is now slowly stepping away again, back into the cemetery.
Oh wow, yeah. And that was a really good one. Yeah, I mean, we didn't all turn into pigs. This is the positive part. And the festival, just like keeps coming back to us as like, you like provide a lot of empathy with like the old man, and the old man can now rest in peace in the cemetery, no longer wanders. Mother's still up with her blinders, being like, I didn't see anything in that cemetery.
This man, if this old man is not here, he cannot curse her family.
Yeah. And so that's like sort of mostly what Ghost Stories is like. Yeah, that's what like Ghost Stories we tell ourselves is like. You could provide like a little bit of epilogue for your character if you want, but otherwise that was like pretty much the game.
Well, what's going to be the epilogue scroll of every family member?
Yeah. How do we end the chapter?
This might step on toes, but I think Mother's epilogue would be like very, very vigorously clapping as her son collects his MBA at Harvard as valedictorian.
Yay!
And after he collects it, we see the son packing up his room at Harvard. He has like these boxes and everything, and all of them are filled with like business economics books and all these kind of things. But he has one box there, a little one, where he actually has this little wooden box, and he opens it, and there's still the silver comb in there. And he closes the box and then leaves the room at Harvard to join his family.
So cute. I think on that day as well, like with the mother, I put like a hand on the son. I'm like, I'm really proud of you. And then we like pose for like graduation photo together. But then I'm just like, hey son, look, I'm very proud of you. I know how much you sacrificed, how much you gave for the family, and I know that you didn't go, like you want to explore other options, But now we can head the family together, and now we can buy out a theater, and we can watch all the plays we want, because I know you wanted to go to drama. What's better than being in a drama program is buying the drama.
And as he graduates, Granny will give him like a token, so that he will have a good luck for the rest of his life, and basically places it into his hand, closes his hand around it. Never let go of this. This will guide you through the rest of your life. And maybe you will find a really nice partner someday.
Yes, grandchildren, when?
Matchmaking
Mom.
underway. Your grandma and mother know best. They will find you a very happy partner.
I smile politely, but
I will.
hold on.
You stay here. I will go to the law department and see what they have in Mother Exits. Because they're graduating too, so she's going to check out the high mark people.
Yeah, lawyer and business, great combination, power couple right there.
And Granny is shouting behind her daughter, "Make sure this person has a nice nose."
Nice noses. In the family.
Oh, this sounds like a good way to wrap this up and have our imaginary end credits rolling by for this session of Chinese ghost stories we tell ourselves. And I had a lot of fun with this. Alyx, is there anything you would like to share before we wrap up?
No, I thanks so much everyone for coming through. If you want more updates on Chinese ghost stories, this is just a play test. You know, as I was telling the crew, sometimes you don't know how the mechanics work until you get people to play it. So I have a lot of notes on my notebook, and I would be super excited to play with this group again with like a very like more refined rules, because you all are such a delight, such strong role players. It's been really great. So if you want more updates, you can find me at Daredevil Alyx on Twitter. And you can find the game on itch, which is in the trans rights bundle right now.
Which, actually, yes, Ida was faster than I was. She already put it in chat, indeed, because this stream was indeed also to promote the Trans Rights in Texas bundle, which has a metric ton of games in it for an amazing goal to work towards too. So check out the link in chat to support the package. And as Alyx mentioned himself, if you want to keep up with what Alyx is doing with this game and probably other games you might be writing in the future, follow them on Twitter. The Twitter handle is Daredevil Alyx. It's in the overlay. And once again, thank you very much. I can speak for myself that I had a very great time with this game. I'm not sure. I dare to say that Caro and Ida feel the same, but how did you like it? How did you like your time playing this game?
Go ahead, Caro.
I think it was very entertaining, especially since we are free enough to play around with what's going on there, how we interact as a family, and things like this.
For me, that's a very unique way to like tie in a dynamic that doesn't really get focused or covered. It's something that's often very background and focused on character development. But here it's forefront and center, and it's a very unique and really, I think, refreshing and welcoming taste.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like the mechanic where you can build yourself up to take a big risk. Hopefully, at the end, you're kind of girding yourself up for hopefully gambling that, and we did. We didn't die and turn into pigs.
Exactly.
True.
Exactly. No, this was really what I liked a lot was there was the theme of family is very strong in here. The ghost stories and the supernatural is an element of it, and is like the kind of like the the vestments the story wears, but the focus is clearly on the family, on what's the tension within the family. And I think if you have a group of people who can get really into this, and I think we all got really into this, this is a very interesting game. And I wouldn't mind trying this another time and see how this game further develops.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that concludes today's stream then. Alyx, once again, thank you very much for joining us here today. If you liked what you saw and you want to keep track of what else we do on this channel, you can follow us on Twitter at horde_of_tales. You can also find the VODs of all the games we play. We have a regular game on Tuesdays. The next session actually coming up in coming Tuesday to start the 3rd chapter in our Eberron game, Convergence Manifesto. And you can find all the VODs of everything we play on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Horde of Tales. And if that's not enough, you can also join us on our Discord, where we hang out, chat with each other. We actually had a nice little game of Jackbox yesterday with a few people from our Discord server. So if you want to come, click the link to our Discord, which should be below the stream, and join us there. And I think that's everything for now. Thanks everyone for coming by. Enjoy the rest of your day, no matter what time it is there. And we'll see you next time. Take care.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.